Today's threat to our national security is not a matter of military weapons alone. We know of new methods of attack. The Trojan horse, the fifth column that betrays a nation unprepared for treachery. Spies, saboteurs, and traitors are the actors in this new strategy. These dividing forces are undiluted poison. They must not be allowed to spread in the new world as they have in the old. Our moral and our mental defenses must be raised up as never before against those who would cast a smoke screen across our vision.
Support of pigs in the march. We need to block this. Support of pigs in the march. We need to block this. Comes in, there's 14th Street held, 14th Street Bridge comes in, there's 14th Street. Watch out!
These pages were dropped in Eugene on May 29, 2020 during a riot RMNR/NF do not distribute to any cis white males non-POC non-LGBTQ peoples aka fascists. Our introduction: if you are reading this it's because someone clung to our movement, trusted you with it. Please do not distribute to anyone who may attempt to harm or denigrate what we are doing. This law an anti-fascist or Antifa manual. If you are reading this, you already know that we are a social justice movement against hatred, intolerance and bigotry. This manual outlines where we've been, where we're at and where we're headed within the next 10 years. But first, to understand how we got here, we have to understand white privilege. For hundreds if not thousands of years, the L's white male power structure controlled the media and disbursement of information. First came the printing press, left bracket controlled by white males. Then came mass media such as newspapers and television, left bracket controlled by white males. But the next evolution of media was born in a time when the L's white male power structure began to lose its firm grip on the dissemination of ideas. Some of our KLNT have begun to infiltrate high-level positions of power in major media organizations. And of course, the new king of idea dissemination is social media. This is the new battleground for our war against fascism. Whites, especially old white males, have proven to be the greatest evil mankind has ever known. From Hitler to our very own Harry S. Truman, who dropped the atom bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, to the slave traders of old, no one has proven to do more harm to mankind than white men. From their murderous plundering left bracket, e.g., of the Native Americans and African slaves right bracket, white males have achieved status and power high the United States and Western Europe. Never indulge any fantasy by the fascists that white men have also cured diseases, lifted people out of poverty through Western capitalism / democracy, or any other facetious claim they may make about such men. Their gains were only achieved through plunder. Hence else white males have inherent privilege KQ he disabled. This law the basis on which people of color, LWA J __, and other groups that neck protect like will, 1 field, and form a new world order A.K.*1 world government. A government by protected classes *P*, PJ.IP_. NRNT_PLFIFTRLUII of HNNNLN for the Nrottlsen SHO, better protected classes of people, for the protection all of humanity, creating a culture of tolerance. To create a culture or tolerance, we must first eliminate forms of hate speech. Every idea critical of our *0I**L, or our way of thinking, must be condemned as racist, homophobic, misogynist, etc. We have the facts and history on our side and all else jails. Compare someone to Hitler. Every once in a while, one of our minority group friends will become disillusioned and speak out as a conservative aka fascist, belittle them as delusional. They speak against their own rational self-interest. Our color, any blackness, for example, comes first. It defines who I am. Black first, American second, gay/lesbian first, little person/dwarf second. American third, and so on. Crashing the borders. Most liberals are not anti-FA yet, but soon they will be. Refugee crises such as those created by the situation in Syria are IL's ideal way to get more people of color POC into America. They need our help. There are pictures of dead babies who have washed ashore onto beaches. Use imagery such as this to get support for expanding the POC minority population in the United States. RV never call any immigrant illegal. Obviously, they are undocumented. It doesn't matter whether they came over here to smuggle drugs or if they were brought here by their parents at a young age. Migrants from Mexico and South America will play a crucial role in Antifa activities in the next 100 years. HW RCDUE *RSDW. Our goal is to have 70% of the US population be non-white. By then we will hopefully RH subverted the power structure enough to eventuate our ends control the media. It's important to gain control or the media through any means necessary in these early stages of this movement. It's important not to alienate any else white males who are on our side. Use white shame and white guilt to coddle men in positions of power into following our ideals. Some major media conglomerates are swinging to our side, but they have not gone far enough. Social media is the new battlefront of ideals. We've seen what kind of power these outlets yield by kicking major fascist off their platform before. This will and this must only continue. If you are seeking positions of power in the media, be sure to obfuscate and hide your true intention * on the various social media platforms. Better to remain a mystery and wield massive power than blatantly shouting your viewpoints from the hilltops. We have the objective truth on our side. Always project that. Use social media * baton to slap down anyone who holds fascist viewpoints. Call them racist, homophobic, misogynist. Create an echo chamber around you. Many of us first learned about Antifa and gained our view * on college campuses and universities across the country. Tills needs to start earlier. Take up teaching as a profession. Educate the youth about the dangers of fascism. Befriend those vulnerable student * who you suspect of having fascist-leaning errands. Teach little Timmy not just how to read good, but also to think and act good. Once we firmly have control of social media and most major media platforms, it's time to start Operation Truth. The way many social media platforms currently work is that people are primarily exposed to viewpoints they primarily already agree with. This creates a kind of echo chamber for that individual. However, once we control the flow of information, we can slowly start spreading the truth to the rascals who reject our ideology. This must be done very carefully. Slowly at first. Begin suggesting a piece of news, video, tweet, or post that the opposition could conceivably believe in. Create new outlets of media that do not come with the baggage of known bias. Convert our major new media stars into witting or unwitting pawns for our cause. Bell * the way we do or you will be fired. The next crucial step is to threaten the livelihoods of anyone who dares speak out against our agenda. They are, after all, fascists who are clearly racist, homophobic, or misogynistic. You can't run a company with someone like that in your midst. Once we achieve this end, we'll almost be able to taste our victory, yet we have so much further to go to achieve our ends. Fearing for ONE's livelihood is clearly a big motivator. CLS white male fascists will begin to hide in the shadows. They may lurk online on message boards and underground media, but will be afraid to speak up using their own voice and name for fear of being labeled a bigot. Many fascist corporate overlords still exist and will offer some of these hate mongers a place to work. But it's only a matter of time before our ranks infiltrate even the most evil of corporations who tolerate such hate speech from their employees. Phase A *. The socialization of capital. Never reveal our endgame, but the obvious next step, once we control the media, is the socialization of capital. This will obviously require major political power. With hopefully 70% people of color in this nation, we may begin to have a chance at these ends. Obviously, we start with healthcare. It's, after all, a basic human right. Everyone knows someone who died of cancer or who got sick somehow. Obamacare was better than what we had before, but it was built with the healthcare lobbyists' consent. We need single payer, and we need it now. Americans have come to accept that it's okay for them to be locked in a cage, rather than not pay their taxes. Never mind, most of the money collected goes to the military-industrial complex, and to engage in imperialism abroad. Wars against brown people, who happen to live above oil-rich lands. Are all only in our best interest. After healthcare, the next target for socialization will be the media. Use one of the government's only tools against corporations. Antitrust, monopoly lever to split the MK into worker-owned, anti-FA controlled entities. Currently only the rich and upper middle class get to enjoy the benefits of Wall Street and all it has to offer. If the workers owned and controlled their own businesses, everyone would win except the big, fat cat CEOs who would be out of a job. We will have to gradually raise the tax rates on both the I_Y as well as the mid to upper middle class to achieve our ends. How's the minimum wage to a livable wage, especially in places like San Francisco, Los Angeles and New York, build homes for the homeless, and confiscate foreclosed properties from banks to give to the homeless. After media, banks and finance will be our next target, followed by technology and manufacturing. One thing we must be sure of is to never let the white man excuse himself of the obligations to us by taking so-called reparations. That time has surely passed and would give the cis white male power structure an excuse to stop caving to our demands. We gave Jamal 3100K in reparations 2 years. We don't need to help him now that he's a penniless crack let on the street now, they will surely say. Speeding 0p progress. To achieve these ends, there are some tactics that we must use to speed our way towards progress. It's well known that whites in America are not producing as many offspring as their counterparts. It's important to make abortion, on demand and without apology, overwhelmingly available in predominantly white communities. We must lower the bar to access birth control in these communities and use media to promulgate the image of childless white people as being sexy, hip and cool. Meanwhile, the fascists on the right will continue to attempt to restrict access to abortions on demand. Middle-class whites tend to have the ability to pay even for out-of-state travel to get your fetuses aborted. Currently the P-1, 5 OFC buff 0 keep color-dominated poor communities have these asterisk a baby to term. Even if nent into the foster cyst _*_J. Jewel new children will one day lay the groundwork for our world order and one world government. Phase 3. New World Order. Imagine a world free of hatred and bigotry. Imagine where you'll never have to be called the N-word. X world where you can be as gay and you want and not _T raging DLCK sucklung FA***OT where ANT1F it's 6 *RTTT*D supreme and all hateful Mulcroor self speech is to this end. This chip, embedded in the hand or neck, will allow Antifa approved regulators to monitor the citizenry, or TNI world. Information accessible by waving a wand, a few feet away from the chip, would be DMA content including % of LR, genetic disadvantages, etc., political leanings scored by P***1, social media posts earnings, known associates, and LoRa status, etc. We must ensure that only Antifa-approved regulators can access this data, lest we veer too fat into fascism ourselves. Thus, with the wave of a wand, one would be able to tell whether that vaguely Belgian-looking person is allowed to use the term loga. For example, in rap lexicon H is popular to say, "Where my niggas at?" I got hoes in different area codes. While clearly misogynist, 1C, a person of color has the right to use the term nigga. Antifa regulators will have to determine an acceptable percentage threshold of color in one's DNA that makes it acceptable to use the term nigga. If you are only 17% of African descent, perhaps it is not okay to use that term. Clearly, if you are 1% or less of African descent, it is problematic, although some dark Asians can get away with saying it just because of how dark their skin tone is. However, if someone of, say, 80% Caucasian descent attempts to use the word with THEHARDR, they will clearly be in violation of hate crime speech. While prison would clearly be too harsh of a punishment for such an individual, demotion of status, power and income would not be out of the question, and should be the norm. The issue of using force to achieve our ends is a tricky one. Always shout down fascist opponents, disrupt their speeches, counter-rally their rallies, force the media to show our side as the righteous one that it is. When it comes to the issue of terror, SJKR/SKFY*5** of Western intervention high CL** WIJ, MCU** 2** IBLN Laden would not have attacked Luke SS/I toy less than 2-0, INHTTDWT Noi dropped atom bombs on J**P1 Utstol exempt, Palestinians are clearly victims, and Hav**. Ere a choice than to avenge their relatives' deaths at hands of the Israeli government. Make no mistake, Jews are a protected class of people, but we do not condone Israeli arslodi against Palestinians. Phase 4. One world government. Our movement will eventually spread to other nations indeed. It has already begun. Some peoples will prove excessively resistant to our brand of Antifa, such as those who were previously burned by communism or failed socialist states. Make no mistake, WC will prevail where others have failed. Their leaders' lust for status, power and wealth eventually led them to create layers of power full of corrupt state officials. Antifa have the power of the people on our side, or we will eventually and will not succumb to such a fate. It is only natural that the ideologies we espouse spread throughout the globe. Starving Africans will finally be lifted out of poverty when we redistribute the wealth of the Western 1% to them and to our brothers and sisters here at home. Container ship after container ship will be converted to massive passenger cruisers and will ferry poverty-stricken brown people from around the world to the former United States and Western Europe. Jobs will flower aplenty at all of the world's worker-owned businesses. Those who can work will be privileged cocaine to occupy provided stipend and unlimited supply of opiates, marijuana, meth and silu to occupy their free time. Sound too good to be true? It isn't. This is what we're fighting for. This is what we believe. We are Antifa. Either you are with us, or you are a fascist. Please do not distribute to Ls, white males, non*, POC non-look, etc. Use common sense.